Hi guys, Dave Hayes here. So why did that sound so beautiful and haunting? No, it wasn't because of my virtuoso playing. It was because it was a minor. And if you're a minor, beautiful and haunting is what you do. So what is a minor and how do you make them? As you know, all chords have formulas or recipes. For a major chord, that is 1, 3, 5. And we're referring to the sequence of notes in the scale. So for a C scale, all right, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the third note is E and the fifth note is G. So your recipe for a major, being 1, 3, 5, is C, E, and G. To get a minor for any root major chord, you take the third and you flat it. So the recipe for a minor chord is 1, flatted third, 5. So to take the aforementioned C major chord, make it a C minor chord, you take that third, which was E, make it an E flat, or D sharp if you will, and that's the recipe for the C minor chord. C, E flat, and G. That works for any chord you're working with. For an A chord is A, C sharp, and E. If you take the C sharp and flat it to a C, because the C sharp was the third note, you now have an A minor chord, A, C, and E. Same recipe for any chord you're working with. So let me show you how to make one, okay? We were working with C, so we're on the 8th fret, the C fret, working with strings 8, 6, and 5. That's your C note, your E note, and your G note. Okay. Now, one of the easiest ways to make a minor chord is to slide up 3 frets and to press the A pedal. And so now you're going to have a minor chord with all your major string groupings still. The major string groupings, of course, are 10, 8, 6, 8, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, and 5, 4, 3. So there's your C minor chord, okay? C major, A pedal down, 3 frets up, C minor. Now in this particular case, you now have an inversion, okay? Remember we were talking about inversions, in that down here the C is on the 8th string and that's your root note, so that's your root chord. When you move it up here, the 8th string is now the D sharp, which is the flatted third, and that gives you your minor tone. You still have, your C is now on the top, the G is in the middle, and the D sharp is on the bottom. So you have an inversion, an inverted C minor chord. All well and good. Okay? Now here's another way to play a minor chord. You can go down 2 frets to the B flat fret, press your A and B pedals down, and play strings 7, 6, and 5. There's your minor. Okay, you still, now this is a true root minor because the C is still on the bottom there. Okay, the 7th string is now the C note. The 6th string becomes your D sharp, and the 5th string with the pedals down is your G note. So C major, C minor. This does not work for all the major string groupings, okay? As opposed to the one I showed you on the 13th fret. This only works with the 7, 6, and 5. There's a couple other ones in there, you know, because your first string is an F sharp also, C in this case, because of where we are on the fretboard. That would fit in. So, you know, and it goes back to knowing where your notes are on the guitar, knowing where your inversions are, knowing where your chords are located. You have to learn where they all are so that you can move around and do what you got to do. So there's a minor chord for you. 1, flatted third, 5. Have a nice night. Talk to you later.